action.
Hi, this is Emily Ross, LPC, and all month long we've been exploring 10 tips to manage the stress of the holidays. Today on this episode, we're going to be talking about the essential role of self-care in managing holiday stress. So get ready. Hey, it's Emily Ross, LPC. Don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the like button, and check us out on Facebook. Today, we're exploring this essential role of self-care in managing holiday stress. All month, or all 2 months, really, November and December, we've been talking about how to manage stress of the holidays in toxic environments. So we started with number 1, which was boundaries, went to deep breathing, focus on the positive, have an exit plan. And today we're talking about the importance of self-care. It is important to prioritize self-care during the holidays, but it's really always important to prioritize self-care. I can't emphasize enough that to be mentally well, you have to love yourself. You have to love the parts of you that are hard. You have to love the parts of you that are trying to heal and grow. And you have to show yourself and affirm to yourself every day that you matter and that you have worth. And the way you do that is through a self-care practice. It's vital all year long to, if you want to be mentally well, to prioritize caring for yourself. It recharges us mentally and physically. When you set aside time during the day to just take care of you, it tells yourself that you're worthy and you matter. And that energizes us and it refills our soul and it helps us to show up as the best version of ourselves. We deserve to do that. We have a lot of roles in life: mother, sister, wife, therapist. I have a daughter. I have a lot of different roles and it gets exhausting. Now you add on top of that the holiday hustle and bustle. It's exciting and it's fun, but it also can be stressful. So self-care also enables us to show up as a healed version of ourselves to stressful situations. So if all week long practicing self-care and at the end of the week something hard happens, say there's a blow up at a family gathering, I'm going to manage that better because I was self-caring all week long. If I've just been running ragged and working, sleeping, and not prioritizing myself or my well-being at all, when something hard happens, I am already taxed out. I'm revving out of 10. I'm not going to show up the way that I would probably prefer to later, right? So how do you self-care? Would you even consider self-care? Remember back when we first started the YouTube channel, we talked about coping skills. Coping skills and self-care are pretty intertwined, right? When you actively cope, you're usually doing something that I would consider self-care. You're doing things that bring you joy, that help you feel better and balanced and grounded. So for me, self-care includes running in nature, being around any kind of nature really soothes me. It could be the ocean, a mountain, a trail, it doesn't matter. That always helps me to feel better. I love to pamper myself. So any kind of spa, anything, pedicures, manicures, facials, anything like that. For some people, it's being able to take a bubble bath without being interrupted by their kids. For other people, it's going to play golf. For some people, it's playing a sport that they enjoy. For some, it's binge watching a show that they don't usually get time to do. So how you self-care is totally up to you. And it's like a coping skill in that you will know if it works or not, if it hits a self-care or not. Some rules, and I'm not big on rules. So if the rules don't suit you, don't use them. But for me, it really is about being alone with yourself. It's about reflecting on yourself and carving out time that I am worthy and I get to recharge, and I'm setting this time apart to do that. I'll show you. I have a whole self-care toolkit because I love myself. I want to be mentally well, so I have to love myself. So I have a stressful job and a stressful life, I think. It's a beautiful life, but it's sometimes stressful. So I have this whole self-care basket, and poor Matthew had to come with me shopping to replenish it because I was running low. But I have all kinds of eye depuffers and make my face glow, and a hand thing, and I have a neck one and a foot one, and I have like a ton of facials. It doesn't cost a lot of money to take good care of yourself. It doesn't even have to cost any money. That's what I like. I get, like, this is $5. It says it right there, $5 at Target, and I get 3 of them. So what is that? It's $1 something per mask. You're worth that. I'm worth that for sure. I don't feel like I'm being selfish. I don't feel like I'm taken from my finances. It's just a way I affirm to myself that I matter. So you pick yours. And I suggest having like a toolkit. So I'll throw some books in there, or some things that I'd like to have time to read, sometimes a journal. Make yourself a self-care toolkit so that you can just go to that every day. Self-care is an everyday type of practice. So how often do I think you should self-care? Every day. And I want you to at least carve out 30 minutes of a 24-hour day that are just for you. If it's difficult for you to find time to do that, you can do 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night. But if I'm completely honest with you, there's a mosquito, you see it. If I'm completely honest with you, I carve out several hours a day for self-care. I get up, I read my scriptures, I go running or on the bike or some form of exercise to get my body going. I usually do that. It depends. If I go running, it's a couple hours. If I'm on the bike, it's 30 minutes. I do that all before I even start the day. So before I start my day, I've already shown myself or affirmed to myself, I matter, I'm worthy, I get to take time for myself. And then I have a similar practice at night. I unwind, I watch a show I enjoy, I spend time with people who I care about, and I often read before I go to bed too. Those are ways I carve out time for things that I just enjoy. Ballet class, that's another way I self-care. So I take several hours. I would say probably 3 hours a day is really my average for self-care for myself. 3 hours out of 24 hours. It's not a ton of time. It's like less than 1% of the, is it less than 1%? No, 3 hours is 1%. It's 1% of the day. And if I'm bad at math, go ahead and tell me in the comments. But I think it's like 1% of the day. I'm worth 1% of my day. You're worth 1% of your day. So my challenge for you, I haven't done an inspiration challenge in a long time, but a challenge for you is to implement a self-care practice and start today. Start the minute you see this video. Go spend 5 minutes meditating or 5 minutes reading. You don't have to start at 30 minutes. You don't have to start at 3 hours. You can start at 10 minutes or 5 minutes and build up to it. Build up to giving yourself at least half of 1 hour out of 1 24-hour day to care for yourself. And tell us in the comments what it does to change your life. I have a lot of clients, when I start saying, I want you to do this for 30 minutes a day, they really panic. They feel busy. They feel like that they don't see the value in it. And 100% of the time, literally 100% of the time, people who implement the practice come back and say, wow, that makes such a big difference in my life to just take those 30 minutes. And they get very protective of it, of their self-care time, because it really helps us show up as the best version of ourselves. And I think that's what we all really want at our core, right? We want to feel healed, feel joy, and we want to show up as the best version of ourselves for the people that we love around us. So that's your challenge. Build up a self-care practice. If you have challenges with it, or if you have obstacles, put them in the comments. Hop over to the Facebook page, start conversations about it. Tell us what your challenges are with it or what your successes have been, because you could motivate somebody else to start this self-care practice. So again, let's recap. 10 tips for managing holiday stress. 1 was boundaries. 2 was deep breathing. I hope you're doing good with those practices. 3 is focusing on the positive. 4 was your exit plan. I haven't seen a lot of exit plans. Tell us your exit plan too. And number 5 is prioritizing self-care. So tune in next time for number 6. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like, thumbs up, and pop over to the Facebook page.